Well, it may be 50 degrees here today, but believe it or not, it just snowed in Toronto.
And that means it's playtime for at least one resident. That kicks things off in this week's edition of the News Hounds. Toronto Zoo's giant panda, Demao, was excited to wake up to snow this week, decided to somersault down a slope. Unlike our weather, Toronto got 4 inches of snow, and Demao couldn't be happier. Meanwhile, Este reports a polar bear cub born at the Toronto Zoo in November got to play in the snow for the very first time. Talk about fun.
It was a stormy day in New Brunswick, Canada, and Allison Mitten needed something to eat.
We were stuck in the house, needing a Tim Hortons treat, and so we just drug out the dog sled, hooked up the dogs, and away we went.
Right through the drive-thru, much to the delight of the workers and diners inside. Allison and her dogs have been mushing around town for a couple of years, but this fast food run was a first and probably not the last.
Este reports that 2 female white tiger cubs arrived at their new digs, a kindergarten of sorts for tigers at Dream World in Sydney. The nameless 4-month-old sisters will remain in quarantine for a bit, but will then join 3 other lion cubs already here. Welcome home.
Lola found out a 10-week-old orphaned southern sea otter pup has found a new home at Chicago's Shed Aquarium. Heavy storms in the Pacific Ocean separated the little girl from her mother. She was found alone on Carmel Beach in California. She weighs 11 pounds now, and she's starting to eat solid foods and grooming on her own. All great signs for this little otter given a second chance.
Finally, Tag, you're it. This little rhino apparently didn't want to share his space with some geese. The baby tried to catch the birds, but he's not very successful. The geese are just a little too fast for the little guy. Every time he gets close, nope. Este knows one little rhino who's going to sleep well tonight.
And that's this week's edition of the News Hounds.
Now, this is a great idea.
Isn't that a great
Just
story?
pull it right up, get a burger, and off your way back home.
Love it. That's wonderful.